They're using race as a tool to divide, conquer, and rule, to justify their bull. The race card they always pull. Of serial politicians, their lyrics not rhyming, some have no sense of timing. Of perverting the course of justice, our democracy at risk. Music rotten to the core, who arrange the score. So impure with the UNC and the BNM and the COP and the political sin. Symphony. It's a sin. Symphony with the TOP, MSJ and JSC and the political symphony. It's a sin. Stop playing it. Say enough is enough. The system will always fail once the big fish not making jail. And that's our reality. Explain to me today, these jackass ministers talking about Russia and Ukraine, but they can't tell you why current went in Trinidad and Tobago. They know about Russia and Ukraine 100 million miles from Trinidad and Tobago, but they can't tell you why current went in the country. They want to talk to you about planting food because Russia warring with Ukraine, but they didn't plant food when we thought all of we was going on dead from COVID. When it was brand new, 30,000 farmers begging for land. They can't get land because Massey and Amco and Sabga and Hadco and all the rest of the importers had to make money. We have more fertile land in this country than we know what to do with. We were a net food exporter up to the 70s. We can't grow nothing now. It's a shit show. You don't want to hear it? Switch off. As they come to tell me, Phil, the way you just talk has blocked them one time. Let me save you. If you come to disagree with fundamentals as like how I song or what I say, let me save you the time. I watching my girl Susie. Today she trip. She trip off. I mean, think this trigger you. But it's like she gets shooting Westmoreland this morning. The whole day, all she posting about is glad she escaped. Well, hush your ass now. You escape. The rest of us still fighting to fix it. You escape. Hush your ass now. Go and get 4 more degrees. Tattoo them on your head. The conversation in Trinidad and Tobago is for people who in Trinidad and Tobago who are interested in saving Trinidad and Tobago. That's the conversation. The conversation tonight, Mr. Thanos. Every time the wolf reach somebody door, they just end up sounding like Phillip. I'm going to read Mr. Thanos' post on Facebook for you. Time for this disgrace of a government to go. The blood of innocent people rest on your head. In your hands, you nasty pigs. Heinz, let me start with you. Go to the lowest, hottest part of hell, you pompous, arrogant, useless jackass. You swear I write this? No one at the helm, you all destroyed everything that was built and proven working. Jackasses, go to hell. This is a fellow by the name of George Anthony Thanos. Who the hell do you all think you all are? The people had enough and don't want you. A bunch of murderers is what this PNM has become. George Anthony Thanos. God help this country we all live in. Get out, you dirty pigs of the PNM. We hate you. Enough is enough. You all can sleep behind your special brand security for 24-hour protection. What say the rest of the country? George Anthony Thanos. You see, the wolf reached his family door and Nicole got killed this morning. And for all the different stories you're hearing, let me say this early o'clock. May she rest in peace. Heartfelt condolences to her family. I don't care what caused you to be a bandit. I want to tell you something. I could whistle and walk. I can hold two thoughts in my head. And I understand that you're suffering. But you can't unleash your suffering on somebody else because you suffering. All of y'all who still upholding PNM, when the shit hit you, when the landlord come in to kick you out, when they take your car, where next man gone with your girl because you didn't have $10 last night to buy a punch in St. James. Don't go in other people's house. Go Bali's house. You hearing me? Go and knock on the gate. Say, Heinz, come and help me. My girl leave me. The bank looking for me. Come, Heinz. Where Rowley? All who said about it, Rowley. Go Bali's house. Go straight. Do not pass, go. Do not collect 200. Go Bali's house. You son of a bitch. You had no right in Moses. You had. I don't care. Who vex? Vex lost. This is a country where it's too easy to say black so-and-so, Indian so-and-so, Syrian so-and-so, Chinese so-and-so. That what they breed and all here. And that is why we can't unite as a nation. And that is why we can't fix this country. So people who want to cry because she wasn't a mother, but she was an auntie, but she was somebody's sister, and she was somebody's daughter, and she was plenty people's friend. She was my friend, Avanel Hector Joseph friend. Enough of Avanel friend. Avanel, who is a colleague of mine in the Candlelight Movement. She was enough of Avanel friend to make a video on Avanel's birthday. To say happy birthday to Avanel and talk about how they were in school together. And that break my whole heart. Because up till then, I didn't know Nicole Moses. And when I saw that video that she made for Avanel, that broke my heart. Because nobody supposed to take out their hunger and their frustration on anybody else. Your right to swing your fist stops at everybody else's right to not be hit in the face. So the two of you that get killed in the yard this morning, only buy that bullet and you jump that wall. And I hear it was 8 of y'all. So what is going on? Jacobs and Hines, what is going on? What's going on? Is it that the bandits realized two of you so incompetent? Gary gone. So they can do what they want. They're not cockroach anymore. They can jump in people's yard and shoot people in the back. That's the story I hear. They could have 14 different stories. If you jump a man wall and he have a gun, he's supposed to be able to shoot you dead because he don't know what you're coming to do. They have two. The right to protect property is one of the two scales that is justice, the scales of justice. Malam in se, malam prohibitum. Malam in se is evil in itself. Malam prohibitum is what we agree we do not allow. A wall is a boundary. If you jump over it, you forfeit your life. You put your life in the hands of the person on the other side of that wall. But we have stupid law and stupid lawyers who don't know how to fight for the real issues. Human beings in Trinidad and Tobago live shitty lives because of people in shirt and ties. Shitty lives. We have a parliament that's so confused, that's so unsure of what its purpose is, that it's a shit show. It is channel 1 of the shit show. Nobody don't watch the parliament channel to get elucidated or enlightened. We watch the parliament channel to see which of the monkeys flinging their feces across which side of the divide. That's what we're watching for. To see who come to talk shit. When Kamala come to talk she shit and Rudal come to bust, he mark his passive-aggressive mark, and Rowley come to fling he frame and groom the nation's women's pastures. We come for that shit. We don't look to our parliament and tell our children this is the best of the brightest. Pay attention. I want you to learn. No, we block the eyes, we block the ears. Don't watch that. That's worse than porn. Everything that goes on in the parliament is teaching our children what not to be. How sick and shameful is that? And to all the people who call me on the phone to tell me, Phil, in the beginning I thought you was crazy. But I realized you're the sanest man in Trinidad. Now what you're saying is what the country needs to be hearing. That it doesn't have to be a shit show. The speaker could be fired. The president of the Senate could be fired. The whole parliament could be fired. And the whole thing could be redone. We have the power. It is our country. It is our vote that put them there. It's our taxes pay their salaries. It all belongs to us. It starts and ends with us. We are the author and the finisher of what takes place as Trinidad and Tobago. The jackasses that we put there, Clarence and Obama Hugger and Amory Brown, I can't remember she name. Was it Gopi Schoon? She son, that is the one who had a floating restaurant without a license, or a backdated license that had Faris number on speed dial. It's a shit show. It's a rotted shit show. Trinidad, wake up. It's a shit show. They're using your power to order police to kick you in your face and tear gas you. Them police working for you. They're misusing the authority of the parliament that belongs to you, that you pay for. It's a shit show. And if you stop being black and Indian for a minute, if you became Trinbagonians for just 1 minute and stood together as one people under one flag, all 41 of them shit their pants because they don't know what else to do. Simon de Nobrega cannot justify being in the parliament. A little half red, half white boy who ain't know if he coming or if he going. If lights on or off, he's still clueless. But he only get at work because he up Rowley ass. And Simon de Nobrega could only justify being in the parliament after he was given an opportunity to chair the Diego Martin Regional Corporation and failed spectacularly at that. His only justification, Clarence Rambaran, Colm Imbert. Colm Imbert is your Minister of Finance. That jackass can't count about 4 feet. How is he your Minister of Finance? Stuart Young, besides kissing ass, what does Stuart Young bring to the table? Besides being a liar extraordinaire, I didn't know who was on the plane. I didn't know Delcy bring people. And then we released a document, came from the Minister of National Security, signed by Stuart Young, to the people in the airport. These are the people that come in on that plane with Delcy Rodriguez. I signed in this as the Minister of National Security. Let them off the plane. You lie. You're a big stinking liar. And that's why when you went to open the fire station in Pinal, God throw you down. Make you look like an ass. And your whole legacy forever will be that full toss you try to throw coming off that stage. And we must live in a country where everything that is at the highest levels of society demand better. No matter, listen, you could put my brother, my twin, in that office. Last night, all they hear me argue with my father, brother Michael, and I say I'm going to help him, but he and I can't be friends. He's bad talk me. And when he realized that they have nothing else in Trinidad and Tobago, because even him, he have Faris number, he have Rowley number, he went home by them. When people take a side against Phillip Alexander, never to doubt his PNM or UNC pulling a string, hey, make sure, bust up your throat. That was Marshall Riley Walker. Come and sit down in my left pocket, give me a little popularity here, Phil, and then climb in my right pocket, let them hear my name, not Phil. Say my name for them to hear, not Phil. That's what I want. So they could go in the UNC after and bad talk me and pretend that they know or they have the capacity because Rudal Otanko and them having them thing written down, sending them texts and saying, read this. You feel you could stand toe to toe with me? Debate me paper free now. But the reality of the situation is you the voter, you the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, this is your fault. Nicole Moses, dead this morning, because we have 40,000 illegal guns in the country, like talking about that since 2017. To ask what he, man, what the frig he know? One of them gun killer? So he knows something. Maritime security wall, build a maritime security wall. We would end all the human trafficking. That little Venezuelan boy would not get killed. Could have stopped 3 miles out at sea. What the ass he know, man? Eh? That's how we live. That's how we live. I'll hairy back son of a bitch who just living large trying to pretend he's successful because he's a successful thief. A successful thief. Giving all your talk to give me. And all you're so foolish. Because all you ain't getting none of the shit. All you ain't getting a share in that. All you ain't getting none. But all you give me talk. I mean, I understand Rhoda Barrett. She never had nowhere to go in life. She done cross the highest point she could have ever climbed to in life. This is the high point of her. She ain't going further than this. So I can understand her. Take your LLCB and Ministry of Finance money and give them wood. There you work. Sell sword. Hired gun. Like Denise Wren. Build a reputation on getting front page after front page to attack the most successful commissioner of police we have ever had, bar none. Bar none. The most successful. Gary made it so that people felt safe. The people who didn't like him there was the ones who wanted to get away with crime. That's who didn't want him there. And that is why Keith Rowley have questions to answer. And AV Oil, because Gary was investigating that. In a country where the man in charge of the oil company that AV Oil was alleged to have defrauded, you put Rowley lawyer who get named in the AV Oil Kakada to manage the crime scene. This is a shit show in joke. Come now, man. Come now. Shit show in joke. They laughing at all you. Faris said, we're going to write law. What law they want? They have to stand up on 1 foot on Tuesday and Thursday. Oh, let's make sure. And we don't need no special majority for that. 1 foot it is. Police coming to kick you in your face. Police can't protect your family. Police can't protect you. Police can't protect people working on High Street in San Fernando. And I'm not trying to knock police. Don't get me wrong. Because I defend police. I have some very good friends who are police officers. But our police service set up to fail because of political interference. And I am the one who tell you that there are plenty good police in that force and they know who involved in the crime. And if they had a good government above them that would defend them and protect them, they would bring all to justice. You don't need much. When people say, how are you getting them criminals? Because the police know. The police know. Police tell me. Tell me and I don't forget the name, so don't ask me. For the people that come and ask me, I don't forget the name. I'm 55, I'm forgetting things now. Jackasses. But they say, Phil, it don't make sense. Some of these crimes that you see, it's not worth your while to lay a charge with a criminal justice system that charge will take 30 years. I will be retired and they will be calling me to come in court and give evidence. They had a judge who had to step down as a judge to go and give evidence in a matter to come back. This is a shit show. This is a country where we have cases that take 30 years. My son was 27 years old when the person who broke into Stevens and Johnson's the case was finally completed and he was sentenced. And I was telling my son that Stevens and Johnson ceased to exist years before my son was born. So how long that case went on for? Lorena Lucian could tell you her sister was raped by the ranking officer in a police station when she was underage and the matter takes 17 years in the courts. We need a commission of inquiry into the criminal justice system in Trinidad and Tobago. We need that. Here crime pays from inside. Here you get the right contract, you win. Here it is costs more money to transport prisoners and house prisoners than the prisoners are guilty of stealing. Hear me now. You're transporting them, you're housing them, and you're convening court and paying judge salary and lawyer salary and prosecutor salary for 20 years on a matter where a man thief $300. So by the time you finish the case, we spend $150,000 prosecuting $300. Now tell me if it makes sense to you. I want to open the phone lines tonight. I want to say if you could still support the PNM or UNC tonight without referring to the other, without saying I support UNC because PNM full of shit or I support PNM because UNC is old team, without referring to the other. Just saying, a man write me a message. He say, oh God, Mr. Alexander, Mr. Phillip, you're hitting the government for blows about all they just do wrong. Well, write something they do right now. I tell him make a list. Make a list. I will share it. I will tell people this what the government do right. I'm not lying. But you tell me one thing they did right. One that wasn't on the face of it looking like something decent, and when you scratch the surface of it, they thief it, they corrupt the tenders process to get a partner the work. Come on. Give me something that they do right. Give me. Tell me. And I'll be there with you. I will be there with you. The right to protect your property is a foundation of law. And a progressive empowerment party government will enshrine that as a right. If you jump a man wall without his permission and you get shoot, you buy that bullet. you should be made to pay for the bullet. Respect people's property. Respect people's walls. If your life is shit and you can't get nowhere and you grow up and you grow up in a hotspot because your member of parliament is a piper shithong, go Balize house. If they put you in a school system that if it's not a prestige school, you're not only also ran to ask with you, go Balize house. If after you come out of that school system, the only job you could get is packing fries and twirling batter, go Balize house. If minimum wage not cutting it, and you need money to impress girls or boys, wherever you're swinging, go Balize house. Because at the end of the day, until the jackasses are going to ask me, is the government fault? Yes. The tenor, tone, timbre, flavor, color of the country is the government. The government. The government is responsible for flood. No, they didn't bring the rain, but their job is to anticipate and catch it. We've been counting rainfall by the inch in Trinidad and Tobago for 100 years. We know how much rain going to fall. That's how they forecast. We have an idea of how much rain is supposed to fall at a certain point in time, and then we're going to look and see the clouds that come in with the satellite and say, ups, A and B adding up, C it is. Forecast that. So we know with a certain amount of certainty how much rain going to fall where. So we could prepare for that. So if you know that you're getting 100 inches of water in Diego Martin for the month of May, create a system that could hold 200 inches. So we capture all our water and we hold it and we treat it and we distribute it. So in the dry season when we have no water, everybody could still wash their car and the dog and the cat. We could do that. We could do that, but instead of doing that, the jackasses hire corrupt and criminal Hafiz Karamat, who was such a criminal that he had to rotten before he died. When he used to walk in the courthouse to give testimony in cases brought against him, they used to have to turn off the air conditioner and open the window. He was smelling like a walking corpse. Ask people, Hafiz freaking Karamat, a nasty, stinking criminal. And if he didn't dare and escape, that whole Disalcott thing would have fallen down around his ears. They get away with economic, financial murder. So now we're spending $500 million every year to desalinate salt water in a country that gets more rainwater than we could ever use. Every other year, enough rain falls on this country to drown it. And some years, it does. Some years, Dago gets drowned. Some years, Central gets drowned. Some years, it's South. Wherever Fitzgerald Murkyface Hines want to call a lagoon, an alligator lagoon, wherever, it doesn't matter. Because this morning, the PNM turned Westmoreland into a ghetto. This morning, on Keith Rowley watch, Westmoreland became a ghetto. They're moving in 5-10s. They're not coming two people and casing you and looking to pull at your bag. They coming at you now. I tell all you it's going to get bad. It's worse. Worse becoming worse. It's real bad. And you think you're safe. You're laboring under the illusion that you're safe. You're ever walking down the road and you bend a corner and you see a bad dog in a yard and you see the gate open same time and you start to work out all of your options because you don't want that dog to bite you. But that's where we at. Because for some reason this morning, those bandits chose Cherry Crescent and they chose Moses' house. And for that, Miss Moses had to die. For that. And two bandits who the PNM determined when they were born. Because they were born black. But worse, they were born poor. And if you're black and you're poor in Trinidad and Tobago, dog better than you. People will throw something for a dog. They may throw nothing for you. Black and poor in Trinidad is almost a crime because of the PNM. Because we've had $3 trillion. When Norway got that kind of money, when Dubai got that kind of money, they established heritage and stabilization funds. That is who we copy it from. They established that, and Norway's heritage and stabilization fund is so massive now that Norway never has to work again. Norway's fund pays them in interest every year more money than our national budget in US dollars. Norway's fund Understand this. Norway's fund is such a significant global financial player that Norway's stabilization fund affects every valuable stock traded in the world. In the entire freaking world. Our money was stolen by the PNM and then two versions of the UNC and the PNM again. They've destroyed paradise. This was Eden. Here's Camelot. This is what God meant when he said, this is paradise. David Rudder said this is paradise on earth convincingly. If humans left Trinidad for 20 years, if something happened and all the humans left Trinidad for 20 years, Trinidad would become green and lush and covered with birds and flowers and fruits and vegetables and animals of all kind. We naturally fertile. You spit popo, Portugal, I've seen it, it's happened to me, so I could say it. A pimento, pelt it out your yard. As do these things in the flower bed. I just throw fruits. If it's spoiled, if the orange spoiled, throw it. 10 to 1 it grow. That's what we have. We have the biggest, largest deposit of pitch on the planet. It is such a natural wonder. It is one of the most important natural wonders of the world. We don't appreciate it. We don't understand it. We've given it away. They raped us to give it to their friends so they could pocket little small money. And this shit show that is Trinidad and Tobago. Was it Kamla? Was it Keith? You don't know and you don't care. That's the only thing worse than ignorance. Apathy. We don't care. We don't care. They've made it a shit show because we don't care. Rowley should have never get away with saying, because I black, take Colm as the Minister of Finance. Take Colm as the Member of Parliament for Diego Martin Northeast and pretend he black too. No, he's not massa. No, this is not a plantation. Because that is our reality. They have no way Colm Imbert is anybody Member of Parliament. Maraval is a shit show. Diego Martin Northeast is a shit show. Go outside Adams, where Rowley and his partners just go for breakfast. Go and see both sides of the road, Saddle Road, right there, the start of Saddle Road in Diego Martin Northeast. Go and watch that bridge and the barriers to prevent school children and old people from falling in the river. Go and watch. I'm highlighting that about 5 years now. The only reason Maraval looks decent is that they have a high concentration of middle-class people that takes care of their own community. Colm is responsible for nothing. And he is just one example of the jackass farm that is your government, that is your cabinet, that is your parliament. Look at it. Every now and then they walk around and take a picture of themselves as a selfie to say, we are on a walkabout and we're doing something. You're doing jack shit all of Trinidad and Tobago. All of it is a shithole. This morning, Westmoreland became a ghetto, a hot spot. And the people of Westmoreland are now classified as at risk. You had a home invasion in bright sunshine when people were getting ready to go to work and go to school. The time of the day when you're whistling and you're thinking and you're planning, you're preoccupied, you're not even looking to see who come in to take you or kill you. But that's our reality. That is our whole, complete reality. That we live in a shit show. And to all the people who want to send me all the talks about hold on and stay strong and give me all the flower memes and the God praying memes, save all that. I know I have a mission and I'm on the mission, but it's not for me. Don't send it for me. What you have to send me is, Phil, I'm coming to help. What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? Or I can't come to help because I'm in a wheelchair or in a bed or I can't work or whatever. I want to send her $10. Who to send it to? Don't give me encouragement. I encouraged. I working hard at it. Today, Satish Ramsaran went to view 2 new offices. One for Couva in Point Lisas and one for Bamboo. And we're going to set up those 2 offices and launch them, the Progressive Empowerment Party. Do not doubt the intentions of this political movement. Do not doubt it for a minute. The Progressive Empowerment Party has every intention of giving you real political option. What you do with it is up to you. But every now and then, somebody calls to remind me that, Mr. Man, we didn't take you seriously in the beginning. But we realize now that you are the only serious thing they have in this country politically. That there is nothing else. And for that I say the doors are open to all those people who consider themselves real activists or have any interest in fixing trying to begin. You don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. Emotional intelligence means that we're on the same mission. We're working together to achieve the same outcomes. And to the Progressive Empowerment Party and those of us, look at what we build. Look at the kind of things we get involved in. The Candlelight Movement, the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, the Jericho Project that has changed the lives of the homeless, the orphans, and the disabled in this country. Besides the Progressive Empowerment Party, look at the things we involved ourselves in. What the Bible say? By their fruits you shall know them. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. How much people push the door to come and tell me they would like to be a part of what we're doing. I say, friend, let me tell you something. You could support, you could assist. But from what I understand of what you have been involved in, I cannot lower my standards. I had to tell somebody last night, I'll share the exchange with you. Because I want you to know how my mind works. And of course, you know, that I have to scroll through 1,000,000 to find it. But the long and the short of it is, a woman who's a supporter, she messaged me last night to say that we can't make it unless we join up with the UNC. That's what she said. That's what she said to me. I really appreciate you and most of your words. However, I humbly want to suggest that you should work towards building a bridge to the UNC. You cannot win the next election on your own. It will take many years to build that following, and I know you know this. You can guide towards making positive changes if an alliance is achieved under the right conditions. I know you're passionate and love it, but you will need them when the time comes. My response: please stop following me and go give your support to the UNC. We have zero interest in choosing one of the 2 bandit sides, regardless of their hair texture. She said, and this I agree with, so little hurt, but I will get over it. Okay, so I reread my initial message, and now I see how UNC it sounded. I was a little busy and didn't articulate my point properly. I bow out, sir. I will still vote for you. I said, if you see the mistake you made, you don't have to go. But for me to work with the UNC, I would have to scuttle my ethics. And that's the point. I can't go into an organization. I've been trying to understand how to put it into words for the people who want the shortcut of borrowing the 510,000 Indian vote. Because that's what they want. They don't care about the UNC. They want the 510,000 East Indian votes that the UNC claims as theirs. I don't think the UNC have it. Because if I look at the results in Debe South, we didn't beat the UNC, but the UNC lost to themselves. The UNC lost tremendously. 25% of the vote came out in a die-hard community. Some people say it's just a by-election, it's just local government. Just don't cut it. Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be able to mobilize and call out your support. And that is what I intend to do. And I want to call out 485,000 black people and 510,000 Indian people and 5,000 Syrian people and 6,000 Chinese people and 10,000 white people and all the mixed people and the Douglas people and the red people, because I want to call everybody out. And I'm calling them out not on race. I'm calling them out on I will serve. I'm calling them out on I will fix it. I'm calling them out on I am a jackass, but I'll be your jackass. I'm calling them out to tell them I am arrogant, but I'm arrogant for the right reasons. I call them out to tell them, yes, I am abrasive, but when you put me in office, the people who are responsible for all of the high-collar, white-collar crime in this country, they are the ones to fare, not you. I have stood in this path. I have walked this road for going on 29 years now. I have been committed for the best part of my life. Somebody sent me a picture of me in 2012 at the end of the Jericho Project, Akil Chambers Justice for Children March. I find I was looking like one sexy man. And I'm thinking to myself, I waste those years, boy. How much nice girls they have in this country would I like to go out to dinner and eat popcorn and a movie with me? And I marching in the freaking road. How much march I march? I march for women, march for children, march for handicap. The only thing I march for is April, May, and June. You know me. I didn't just show up in the politics and when things get hard, run away. I didn't just show up in the politics and pick a side and link up. This is the hard road. This is the road less traveled. At the end of this road is the everything that we ever wanted for ourselves as a country. This is the road that other people speak about but have never had the commitment, the belly balls or backbone, the courage of their convictions to stick to. This is the road that the Congress of the People was on. And then they lost an election and then link up with the UNC because Winston Dukaran wanted a shortcut to power to get blue lights and people to blow smoke up his ass. I want neither. In fact, a Progressive Empowerment Party government will outlaw blue lights. The only persons who are going to need police protection and special branch detail are people who are actually at risk. Not every government minister need to worry about who looking for them. Some of them, nobody want to put a chenet at them, much just a gun. And they're driving around clearing traffic. I want my Minister of Works to pull up in cabinet late. And I want him to reach late and apologize because of the traffic. So we can ask him, well, bitch, fix it. If you don't fix it, who going to? I want to hear the Minister of Health complaining that his wife don't like the conditions in the Port of Spain General Hospital. So I could say, bitch, fix it. Because if you don't, who will? Under Progressive Empowerment Party government, any government minister has to use, not me, has to use public facilities. We have to use public roads and we have to sit in traffic. We will get no tax breaks. We will pay the same price everybody pay in the grocery, in the hardware, in the parlor. Because we will know the value of the money in our pocket. So when people say, what? $35 for a pack of cigarettes? We will know. We will understand. We will feel it too. A member of parliament must live in the community. Must. So that if the constituency talking about flooding and mosquito, you know, because it's flooding by you and mosquito biting your ass too. And if you don't fix it, who will? And that's the point. That's the point. That's the point. That's the point. You have not yet voted for people who understand that the well-being of all the citizens, the function, reason, and purpose for government. And that government's job, as Father Harold Imamsha said when he blessed us, be servants who lead and leaders who serve. Again, for the cheap seats. If I could wear a polo shirt with a brand on it every day that says what I do and I don't ever need a suit, and as look nashy in a suit. You ever see me? Tie, pocket square, as the hot. I know. But I like to look like I'm ready to work. I like to look like I don't need to take off my jacket and roll up my sleeves to work. I like to look like once we here, we're working. I want to be able to boast at the end of it all. 5 years in office, or they could vote race, or they could vote height, or they could vote gender. It doesn't matter. We had 5 years and we fixed the important things. And all those who want a job, have a job. And those who have jobs and wanted to own a home, own a home. And all those who have children in school, all those children get proper education. And all our public health system works. And we have secure borders, and we've removed the 50,000 guns from the society. So our police back to walking around town in short pants with little butu shorts, so because bandits have no gun either. I want to be able to say that Trinidad is now a net food exporter once again, and the important things we grow in. Lincoln Myers set off on a path to import dwarf breadfruit because a breadfruit tree could feed a family of 4 for 75 years. Breadfruit is the only low glycemic starch, unlike its sisters and brothers, rice, potato, flour. Breadfruit lowers your blood sugar, stabilizes it. Trinidad have some of the highest counts of diabetes in the world because of our addiction to sugar, flour, potato, rice. We live with our blood sugar in our head, and then we wonder why people going blind and cutting off their foot. Our country is a shit show because for the 5 minutes of fame those shithongs get in office, they don't have to care about you. They're there to feather the nest and fix their own lives. They're there to make sure that their family live well. And for generations to come, they're going to thief generational wealth. So while they're talking to you and giving you bullshit about school open, school closed, and what's supposed to take place in school, their children going to fancy school abroad. Thing where they have fancy little pattern on their pocket. All of it. All of it. We have the best artists, we have the best athletes. This little 1.4 million people, but you're not supposed to have 10 million people. 2 million of our Trinbagonians roaming the world like nomads because the PNM and UNC have them afraid to come back home. They're all over the world thanking God, making the sign of the cross, or whatever your religion have you doing, that you're blessed, that you're out of this shit show, that you're in a working man, in a country that works, in a first world developed nation. So if your child bust their toe, you know they're coming back home sucking a lollipop with a proper plaster, and they're sitting down outside there waiting 24 hours for a doctor to pass and say, nobody has seen you yet. It's a shit show. And for as long as it's going to take for you all to come to the fact, and I want the church people to cuss too. When you see all you start to cuss, I know all you reach to where you're going to vote sensibly. I want you all to say, you know what, Philip, you're right. It's a shit show. I want the important people who just call me on the phone after the show done at night to steer me in a direction, do this, try that. I want to say, okay, before we go any further, you're correct. It's a total and complete shit show. Because until you face it, you can't fix it. And a rose by any other name would still smell as stink as this country smells. Trinidad and Tobago is a hateful, broken, blighted place. There is nothing good, nothing works. Your life is in danger. Nicole Moses was walking out of her house with 2 children when she died. When she was killed in her yard. That is madness. That is madness on so many levels. Everybody in Westmoreland tonight want to sleep with one eye open and all the lights on. Nobody know if they're safe. Brian Quaitong, ex-girl, put out a video the other day. Fellas come to her house with a ladder. 7 of them going up on the roof. You have raw tire and we coming through the galvanized. Coming with hammer and pulling out some nails and coming down in through the ceiling. Watch me now. It's a shit show. And you're calling the police and you're saying there's some of them in the yard. Yeah, but the car out when the car come back. Where the car? The car went to pick up Royal Castle. I'm not telling you I am the brightest fool in Babylon. I am telling you that a lot of the things that I say to you, you already know it to be true. That's why my following is so big. Because people hear me speak and say, but this man reading my mind. This man know exactly what I want to say. The difference between me and you is, I will say it. You will think it. You will say, I wonder if I could say this in polite company, boy. But Philip don't care. Philip has no filter. Philip will say it. And I tell people, if you're sending things for me that not for public consumption, don't send it. Don't say it to me. If it goes inside of here, I have no control if it come out of here. Most of the times, I am just as surprised as you as what comes out my mouth. If you realize, I'm not scripted. I don't have teleprompter. When you see me writing things down like this on a piece of paper at night, it's to remember some of the things that I have to do. Yeah? But generally, how long we talking? 10:01. We started at 9:01. 60 minutes straight. The Parliament's job is to provide a space for the people of the country through their representatives to raise the issues of most importance to them and to have those things addressed by the throne. The throne represents the cabinet. The cabinet in this country is the central part of the government responsible for getting the job done. And that's it, in a nutshell. All of the rest of the shit that goes on inside of there. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, miss me with all your bullshit. It is theater and it is circus. And it's big people making asses of themselves. Go and hug up your husband or your wife or your girl or your man or your dog. Go and hug up your pillow. Stop wasting big freaking people time. Every time they adjust the way the house, they reduce all your speaking time more. Now it's down to 12 minutes. First they want to hear all the shit all they come to talk. And the Progressive Empowerment Party will change that. A member of Parliament should be free to speak for at least 3 hours. every time they want to speak, they just literally need to do the equivalent of the parliamentary raise of their hands. Because 41 constituencies divided by 35,000 people make up 1.4 million citizens, and those citizens are represented in the House of Representatives. It is not there for the Speaker to flam or for the President of the Senate to swing. It is there for the people's voices to be heard by the government who are paid to protect and serve the people. And if you can't get that, don't vote. Don't vote. Don't be like that jackass who stand up next to Faris and say, they don't do nothing for we, but I vote for them anyway because I like them. You're an ass. That's like voting for cancer and a heart attack because you like how it sounds together. This country could fix. It could more than fix. We could be the Trinidad and Tobago that we want to be. This country could be the best country in the world. We just have to want it. We just have to be willing to do what it takes. At election time, come election time, we need to be able to stand together as one people under one flag. Trinidad and Tobago is not a failed nation. We failed it. Trinidad and Tobago is paradise, is Eden, is Camelot, is all the best things and more. But now it is the worst and getting worse every single day. PNM and UNC have destroyed this country. The contract mafia that pay their salaries, their bribes, and their bag of money, killing Trinidad and Tobago. Nicole Moses this morning was the latest victim. But it ain't going to end there until we get together and stand up together, one people.
Your vote will decide our destiny.
How long he saying that?
Your vote will decide.
Man walk from Superior to sing that on a stage for me and Debbie. Terminate the reign.
Let's put our country together again.
Little black children dying in pools of their own blood fertilizing concrete. The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. Them people who jumped that wall today had no choices. Balize House and UNC have nothing for them. When they go with a sign and they see their mother begging because they 3 children that she made to get child support and working out. Come now, man. Let me fix it now. Let me fix it. All of us together. Red, white, black, green, and every shade in between.
If for 30 years you vote in the bill, and they don't retest as soon as they win, they give you big words and enslave your soul, promising you roads and giving potholes. If they are the reason why the economy goes proud, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flood, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building ISIS,
East, west, north, and south. If it's you who vote them in.
vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. Stick your finger and vote them out. Rescue the country. Vote them out. Vote them out with tempo. They have we invade. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again.
Damian Sobrian was killed in 2005. His case has still not been heard. The jewelry and phones lost and stolen in the Alice Glade invasion this morning were found on 2 of the Westmoreland bandits who died. The 2 of them had 21 pending cases between them and were granted bail. The criminal justice system in Trinidad and Tobago is not working. We need a commission of inquiry. We need to undo and redo. We need to reboot this republic.
If their policy is a fallacy, bureaucracy, a catastrophe, if they cannot work,
and you're seeing so, then your only hope is for them to go.
if it is fabrication, these statements that they spout,
When you're voting,
if it is a frustration, does make you want to shout.
when you're voting,
Before they misuse out,
thief out, sell out, and digs out.
if it you vote them in, register and all of them,
Stain your finger and
devil the system, vote
them and the vampire system.
and live for the spend. Let's put our work on.
The first song and the last song refer to that. Imagine that.
Come down and in our bed. Let's put our country together again.
People must come first. Citizens by right. None are we here worse. Yellow, black or white. Food, shelter and clothes. Free movement and speech. A garden that grows. And one law for each.
If it is that injustice is what they always show,
When you're voting, if it is that avarice, greed
all they seem to
is all they seem to know.
when you're voting,
If it is their politics, it's just a puppy show. When elections day come, all bandit must go.
register and
All.
if they don't see, stain your finger and show them no mercy. Put them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country,
Together again,
put them out of power.
terminate the reign.
Let's put our country together.
Let me remind the viewers to treat the trolls like lizard shit. 2 minutes after the video is over, we block and delete, and every comment they made will disappear. So don't be looking like you're speaking to thin air. Ignore the trolls. Time for some housekeeping. Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is the best by far, largest, strongest activist organization in this country. We represent all of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. If you feel that you are in any way at any risk to victimization in private or public sector, join the Citizens Union. The best thing to do is take the number 486-2888 and call or WhatsApp that number, and they'll get right back to you and sign you up. To the businesses that would like to contribute to what we're doing and benefit from it, become a business affiliate to the Citizens Union members. We encourage all of our members to give all of their business to you. You give them deals and discounts to benefit them, and we live like how the country's supposed to live, and we prove the concept. The Progressive Empowerment Party is still free to join, despite how hard Satish Ramsaran and Esther Prince fighting me on that to bring it back to the $100 of the UNC and the PNM is charged. We still want to get to 500,000 people before we put a fee in place. peptt.com/join. We have members who pay, and the money that they pay we use to cover. Okay, we're gonna charge you for a card if you want a card, because them things cost money. But to join the party, peptt.com/join. In a couple of weeks, we'll be having a large public meeting to launch the petition, I support the Progressive Empowerment Party. Those petitions are going to be very important. It gives us an opportunity to relaunch a massive national walkabout and to bring in data that we can communicate with you one-on-one. It also sets the tone for the rest of the parties to see the true size of the Progressive Empowerment Party. And if we could collect the 500,000 signatures that we're aiming for, we will make them quake from San Fernando to Balize House. I don't know where the UNC is. I don't know where they are. They're on the run. Grab and Go. Miss Precious Cruikshank, the manager of Grab and Go, would like to invite everybody to come and experience the customer experience at Grab and Go. And saying it out loud to you that it is a personal touch, you need to experience it for yourself. Between Precious, Felicia, and Indira, the service that you get in that store is second to none. Plus, we deliver anywhere in the country for a fee, of course. 218 Food, you could call them, and Precious number is 4712888. Get on that WhatsApp broadcast so you know what's going on at any given time. There's a loyalty card in place that you can get free food all along the way, and Citizens Union members get things like 4712888. Get things like free drinks and free coffee and free desserts. So if you're a Citizens Union member, feel free to walk with your card and show it proudly so Precious, Felicia, and Indira could make sure that you're treated extra specially. If you're not yet a Citizens Union member and you go to Victoria Foods Grab and Go, they could sign you up right there. And you could get paraphernalia like these jerseys, Candlelight Movement, PEP, Citizens Union. You could get things to show that you're part of the biggest, strongest movement of good and decent patriots in this country's history. Our intention is to fix it for all of us, for those to come. For those to come. Let's create a world where they grow up in a country where they're not even scars to remind them of how shitty the PNM and the UNC had it. Yeah? We need your assistance. We need your financial assistance. If you're in a position to assist from $100 a month go up, please reach out to Felicia Hole at 7694590. I cannot understate or overstate how important your financial contributions are. Everything we do, every jersey we sell, Grab and Go, and all of it. We used to have a national barbecue every year. We lost 2 years because of the COVID-19 mishandling, but that's, say what? We may most probably be having one this year because we could deliver it to you if they still have safe zones and all that drama. Yeah? Stefan Peters proudly saying he bought his t-shirt already. Well done, son. To the Canadian and American New York Peppers, thank you all very much for all the work you all do. I know that we have some barrels on the way of extra special items to be offered to Citizens Union members in the Grab and Go store, and we look forward to that very, very much. So, again, if you could help and you're interested in coming on board and serving and being a member in your community or your constituency, if you'd like to be a team captain, a street captain, a chairman of a constituency, come and be interviewed by the team. Satish Ramsaran heads that as chief party organizer. Between him and Esther Prince, they are creating an engine room to make sure that we are ready for any eventuality, political or otherwise. Until tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad.